Awkunanaw since independence.
History is being made today. The Awkunanaw clan is organizing an investiture on one of her illustrious sons, Honorable Wabeze Okafo.
The people of Awkunanaw had played political roles in Nigeria, which started in 1950s. The local government election held in the area enabled the towns in Awkunanaw to produce representatives at the local government council level. People like Mbanta, Nnaji, Nnaji, Chief Ugujam, John Igweshi, and many others played important roles in politics in Awkunanaw. In 1979, Chief Jim Nwobodo, Anyanwuna of Nkanu from Amaechi Awkunanaw, was the first executive governor of old Anambra State of Nigeria. See page 295 for more details.
Citation on Chief Wabeze Okafo by Awkunanaw Welfare Association, as presented by Honorable Prince of Ntuegbenese, Chairman, House Committee on FEMA and member representing Enugu North and South Federal Constituency in the National Assembly. Chief Wabeze Okafo was born to the family of late Chief Obodowono Emenike and late Mrs. Mercy Tinotam Wawodo Okafo of Udeji in Amaechi Awkunanaw in 1971. His mother hailed from Amagu Nobuno in Obago Awkunanaw, a child of destiny. Wabeze attended Chinatown Primary School, Asata, Enugu. He gathered enough determination and exposure to head for Stella Maris College, Port Harcourt. After his secondary education in the Garden City, he secured admission into the prestigious University of Port Harcourt. The turning point came in 2007 when he became a caretaker committee member for Enugu West Development Center. In the same year, he was drafted into the Transport and Accommodation Committee of the State Transition to Inauguration of Enugu State Government as Secretary. Not an ambition were bigger than this area, and he eventually contested and won the chairmanship of Enugu Town Local Government area in 2010. On his assumption of office, Chief Wabeze saw his position as a mandate he was holding on to for his people. So he started to tackle the economic and infrastructural problems of the local government area. Physical infrastructure, construction, fashion of 2.3 kilometer Ugwaji, Obagu Road from flyover. Construction of Eriki, Amaechi, Awkunanaw, 1 kilometer road under flyover. Construction of asphalting of Holy Trinity Catholic Church, Ononyama, 1 kilometer road at Amaechi, Awkunanaw. Construction and asphalting of Confidence Hotel, Nnaji, Amaechi, 2.3 kilometer road. Construction and asphalting of 2 kilometer mission, Obago and Road, first phase. Extension of electricity, Maryland, Ward 13. Construction and asphalting of 2 kilometer mission, Obago, Uzamegu Road. Acquisition of a roller and a bulldozer for the council. 5 numbers 500 kVA and 5 numbers 300 kVA given to the committees of the local government. Rehabilitation through reconstruction of Gariki, Abuke, 2 kilometer road with asphalt. Surfacing of Maryland Estate through Amaechi, Ugwaji Road. Construction and asphalting of Nnaji Awkunanaw 3-kilometer road. Lateralizing through grading of 2-kilometer road Umuano Street at Gariki. Surfacing of 2-kilometer Ndubo Amechi road. Constructed culvert at Ntuegbenese Street between Meleru and Mount Street. Completion of Ikriki Police Building at Idoriva. Classroom blocks have been renovated to constructed at primary schools at Abuke, Obago, Amagugu, Ugwaji, Amechi Wyld, Robinson Street, and so on and so forth. Provision of new firefighting truck with alarm system at Timbashin, Keheta Market. Provision of health facilities at all the health centers of the local government. Street lighting and the electrification of Uwani, Secretariat and adjoining streets, among others. He has sponsored more than 30 people to Israel since adoption of office. He sponsored 12 beneficiaries of the State Songhai Agri Program. Chief Nwabueze Okafor was elected the state chairman of Enugu State chapter of the Association of Local Government Chairmen of Nigeria, AGON, last year, 2011. This, to a very large extent, was a big testimony that he was really working for his people. He carried along the huge population of Awkunanaw communities of the local government area and the urbanites who have lived in the gold city all their lives. His immediate constituency of Awkunanaw clan, being home of the first civilian governor of the old Anambra State, Chief Dr. Dean Ntuegbenese, the former Senate President, Chief Senator Ken Nnaji, former Oxford English lecturer and first civil service chairman of the old service of the old Enugu State, Chief D.E.N. Nabo, a serving Nigerian ambassador to Japan, His Excellency Chief Gode Abo, the highest serving Nigerian Army officer from Enugu State today, Major General C.O. Ugu, Sachi Akoha, Director of Finance and Accounts, Federal Ministry of Transport, Abuja, and a host of others. These fine gentlemen are resources of strength and vision to the clan, and following their footsteps, Chief Nwabueze Okafor is now building a new era of progress to accommodate the level of enlightenment, communal spirit, and service delivery, coupled with good governance to his people. It is not surprising to us because the governor of Enugu State, His Excellency Sullivan Ihana Chochime, has laid good foundation in the state and is being emulated by our own dear son, Chief Nwabueze Okafor. His regime has paid each appointment to every part of Awkunanaw clan. His eloquent political statements in local government administration have earned him the presidency of the AGON, both at the state and national levels. And about 2 months ago, Chief Okafor was elected the Vice President of African United Cities and local governments at Rabat, Morocco. This is no mean achievement since the journey he took in 2010 to one the headquarters of Enugu South Local Government Council to assume the position of the chairmanship of the council as metamorphosed into an eventful political pilgrimage in the African continent. Okafor is married to Chief Mrs. Jacinta Chinyere Okafor and is blessed with lovable children. He has met all the requirements of a titled man and has been conferred with the following titles: also Okochenge and Chief Odozi Obodo I of Amechi Awkunanaw. I therefore present him before the Awkunanaw royal fathers, elders, and the entire Awkunanaw people for the conferment of Okochenge I of Awkunanaw, I so submit.
Representing Enugu East Senatorial Zone, the Mayor from Kano West, Honorable Barrister Keno Kenwa, and of course, the Mayor of Enugu, Kano East.
This is my with black people.
Also, what is being decorated by the Awkunanaw clan, Awkunanaw kingdom, traditional rulers. We are bringing a line from Dr. Aikrodo, the Igwes, the Pan-Union presidents who liaise and make a change of this nomenclature. Awkunanaw is too old and too large and too populated and too economically viable to be a clan. We are a kingdom by the grace of God. Thank God. I get you a big command. I get you a big command. I get you a you got a good eye also. Or to do a garbo, you guys are not good at Awkunanaw. Why is my walk? I'm a king that I die. What is you do that? Like I'm using that. If you are in the state, don't I can do a put up. I have to. And Awkunanaw, I can do. Oh, one. Okay, get an icon. I'm going to do so. I'm going to go to the company. I'm going to go on. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. As you are, I do my mouth. I do my mouth. Because I'm not going to do it. You can have a ton of them all. I'm going I'm giving you this priceless lion's skin for you to triumph over evil, for you to solve problems and those of the people you are leading. So God help you and help all of us. Thank you. I don't know what I don't know. I don't
Soft. Come and see, surprise. Come.
Awkunanaw was spread into two local governments such as Nkanu West local government and Enugu South local government area. Akebubu, Obuofia, Amodu, and Umweze falls under Nkanu West local government area, while Amechi, Obagu, Apuke, and Ugwaji are under Enugu South local government area. Awkunanaw Development Center. This is Awkunanaw Development Center. It was created for the indigenous people of Awkunanaw. It is not a full-fledged local government system, though it was created to carry out some duties of the local government. It was created during the administration of Dr. Nnaji, the former governor of Enugu State. He created those development centers in all the local government areas in Enugu State. The creation of this center was to bring development closer to the people. Awkunanaw Day. It was a day carved out for the people of Awkunanaw to come together and discuss issues that concerns them for a better development. It can also be seen as a day for spiritual unity of Awkunanaw people, though Awkunanaw still remains their ancestral home. It was formed by some people who had served Awkunanaw in the past, such as John Igweshi and Okekede. These people, together with the traditional rulers in Awkunanaw, formed Awkunanaw Welfare Association. The aim of these people was to create a day and a place outside Awkunanaw where both Christian, traditionalists, youths, men and women would be free to participate, and the alternative place is Agbasha in Akibugu. At this meeting place, you can also find structures like church, school field, where youths play football. The Awkunanaw Day is held every last Sunday in December. It gives the indigenous people of Awkunanaw the opportunity to know and meet one another and discuss important issues that concern the development of the people. It also gives opportunity to people who returned home to celebrate Christmas, to participate, and also to meet people they had not seen for a while. However, if there is a problem in Awkunanaw, the people would assemble at Awkunanaw in Obofia to deliberate on it. Traditional rulers and their functions in Awkunanaw. A traditional ruler was addressed as Eze, king. He was also held as Igwe. The duties of the traditional rulers was to receive visitors to the community or town, to represent his community or town on ceremonial occasions, to preside at community festivals and important public gathering of the community or town, to act as the custodian of tradition, culture, custom, and to advise the community on those matters. Wearing of red cap. On the day of Inatokpu, wearing or collecting of red cap, friends and relatives were there to witness the event. The Igwe sat on his seat while the men collecting the cap knelt down before the Igwe, one after the other, while the Igwe performed some rites by saying some things before putting the red caps on their heads, one after the other.
God bless you and give you strength as you perform your functions.
The person or the new chief would stand up praising the Igwe with all types of names and sometimes danced around the palace. Kola nuts, drinks and food were served. In Awkunanaw, the coming of the Christian missionaries brought great changes in their traditional ways of life. The Christian religion brought by the Europeans has swept away some number of customs in the life of Awkunanaw people. It can be said that 97% of the people of Awkunanaw are Christians, and there are different Christian churches in Awkunanaw. Education also brought positive changes in the social, political, economic, and cultural life of Awkunanaw people. Youths left farming for white-collar jobs. People left their villages to urban cities in search for basic amenities that makes life comfortable. My name is Nnaji, Lovelyn, the author of the book titled History of Awkunanaw Ntuegbenese. Here in the studio, we have
Evangelist Charles Ezekiel.
And by my left, we have
Evangelist Ambassador Hafod Ugu.
Our discussion today is on the outcast and the freeborn. So what do you have to say about this outcast and the freeborn issue?
Outcast and freeborn is just one kind of evil concept by which man, especially the Igbo nation, has for several centuries undermined humanity. People have been trying to address this issue, legislations here and there, but because of the fact that you cannot really legislate on family of God, no legislation, no law can give us peace and harmony in the family of God, outside the law of God. That has been our problem. And because we have brushed God aside and we are wallowing in the wilderness, this enigma, this stigma, this cankerworm had continued to ravage our generation. And I thank God that God has risen to do a great thing in our time. That the Igbo nation are tired of this cankerworm. And so many communities are coming up with drastic measures to ensure that they eradicate it in their environment. What is more, even our brothers that are sold overseas are returning. These things are no longer history, no longer story. Actuality. 12 families returned from America, Afro-Americans, said they are children, descendants of the fathers and mothers that sailed from the shores of Omambala to St. Simons Island in Georgia, USA, in 1803. Survivors of that tragic episode, we have their children here in Nigeria, celebrating their victory, saying that there is a cry of these people that were sold in 1803 up to this day, crying liberation. They say that's a song that everybody knows in the net. If you go to the net, you hear it. You Google Ebo landing. They call it Ebo landing. If you Google Ebo landing in the net, you hear Urimilomambara ka Ebo anyi bia, Urimilomambara ga Ebo anyi wena. Nobody knew what is Omambala or where it is until somebody started writing a book. That man, that woman, Catherine Achalon, zeroed in on Nnaji and stumbled into the word Omambala River and exposed what is Omambala and where is Omambala. So these survivors of the heroes of Ebo landing cashed in on it and tried to find out where is this Omambala. And it was revealed to them. Knowledge is a power, but application of knowledge is the wisdom. So they came to Nigeria, first on 15th of May last year, and second on the 28th and 29th, they came for a liberation and cleansing. You had better refer to the film. If the people in America are crying for liberation from the evil that man have done to man, how much more plague have we been suffering from continuing to service this evil that we have inflicted upon ourselves? Our blessings are hanging, but this is the time for a reversal.
Okay, sir, the question I want to ask is that, did God create anybody an outcast? Because during my interview with some elders in Awkunanaw, I was meant to understand that people that were sold into slavery were stubborn children, war captives, strange visitors. Some children were also bound by their father to get loan, and if they fail to pay, their children will be taken as slaves forever. Like now, sir, your father might come to my father and say, please, borrow me this amount of money and I will pay back in so and so days or in so and so time. Then at the end of the day, if my father couldn't pay the money back at the said date, your father will now come and take one of us, and anybody he takes automatically become a slave. Sir, is it proper to make anybody a slave for any reason?
It's a shame that when a father says the son is heady, how to now correct the son is to sell him. It's a big shame. It's a shame that fathers have lost out in the role that God placed on us to be in charge. It's a tragic shame. Nobody is born slave. Slave is simply, like I said, an act of evil men. There is nothing like evil that is outside me. I am the devil that is in me. If that conscience in me reflects evil that I am persuaded to activate and do, then that is the way the concept of slavism was introduced to the world. But who was Joseph? All the people that were made slaves in the Bible were God's own generals. Then we should be warned that anybody that has risen to become anybody within the confines of people that has been marginalized or enslaved, God has given you a definite role to come to reconcile. Samuel Ajayi Crowther was a soul slave at the age of 12 with his mother, but he was rescued. Ajayi Crowther became a bishop and he brought salvation into the Niger. Joseph was a soul slave, but he liberated the entire Israel from where we descended. We are Israelites, God's own children. Who was Jephthah? Thrown away. You can't, son of a harlot. I can't share my inheritance with your father. Then you condemn me, and I'm thrown away. Then Jephthah went and he was sought for to come and liberate Ramoth Gilead. So we are meant to be eagles that fly on the mountain, but we remain in the valley. I think it's time for us to come afloat.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Now, let's hear from Pastor Charles Ezekiel. Pastor, please, do God create anybody a slave or an outcast? What do you have to say about that?
Thank you very much. What I want to say about this, in all my research, since I started studying the Bible, I've never come across where God created a slave. All I discovered was that God created the first man and called him Adam. Second person was called Eve, which was the wife of Adam. I didn't see God called Adam a slave or Eve a slave. So God never created any person to be an outcast. Okay, let's talk about this. What about those who make others outcast? What about if they were made outcast? How do you think they will feel? Outcast or slavery is the commandment of men, tradition of men. Just as we have said, if somebody comes to borrow something from somebody and the person couldn't pay it back, and the person comes and takes one of the child and makes him a slave, God created everybody a freeborn. And he makes everybody to relate together with one another. And let me say something very, very important. The purpose why we are created is to build a bridge and not a wall. Many people build a wall instead of a bridge. Bridge will connect you to each other. Wall will separate you from each other. So men created wall instead of bridge, but we were originally created to build a bridge. We are originally created to build a bridge. Therefore, we all are supposed to be brothers and sisters. But it's unfortunate that the people that God created freeborn made themselves slaves for themselves to serve them. It's very wrong. So wherever you are listening to me, I want to advise, if you are such person or you are living in such community where some people are called slaves, Amadi, Ohu, or Osu, whatever thing you may call it, it is a great sin in the sight of God. In the sight of God, the original slave is a sinner, according to Romans chapter 6 verse 15 downward. The Bible says, whosoever yield themselves to sin is a slave. Whosoever yield themselves to obey, you are a slave to. So what I want to say is that there is nothing in the Bible that God approved about slavery. There is nothing like slavery. Everyone is created to be a freeborn, to relate to one another with joy. So the concept of slavery comes from the tradition of men, which the source is from Satan himself. Thank you very much.
Please, my brothers and sisters, you can hear from our pastor and from evangelists. nobody was born an outcast. Why not come together, put heads together? Let's see how we settle this thing. We are all one, from the same ancestral home. Since we've heard from both sides that nobody was born an outcast, you can only call a sinner an outcast. So, sir, do you still have anything to say again about this issue on freeborn and slaves?
The greatest mishap and misunderstanding, misconception of people is to try to tag the issue of freeborn to marriage. If Osu goes to marry a freeborn, if freeborn goes to marry Osu, the issue of marriage should not come in at all. Because you have said in a family where somebody comes to borrow and there is a default, then one out of the family becomes Osu or O in your community and segregated. And over the years, they are separated from you. And there had been kind of a hatred going by the generational story that passed along the line. Are you trying to tell me that when Providence makes it to create a reconciliation, that what is going to cement your final selling point will be marriage? You marrying one of your daughters. So it's stupid. Anybody in this nation that thinks that marriage is an issue that has to do with kids and freeborn in any way is naivety. Because what we are trying to deal with is reconciling families. We are one family. And there are so many such tragic separations across board all over Igbo land. There are so many reconciliations. One achieved in Obinago to Amogo. The family of Onyonpaka have all left Obinago and gone back to Amogo. When they are reunited with Umatubo family, they made one of the men that returned vice chairman of the family, because this is the family return, family reunion. When the prodigal son left, if he didn't return and he had children wherever he settled, will after a time that he will return, desire his brother to marry his daughter so that the Igbo man will know, yes, the prodigal son returned. So let us stop beating about the bush. Let us become Christian. Let us do certain things to improve humanity, that God may release his blessings upon our nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, Pastor, do you have anything to say?
Yes, I think I have something to say for that. Just like, as I've earlier said, God didn't create any man as a slave or any woman as a slave. It was the tradition of men, in fact, wicked men, that brought slavery. Because if they had gone according to God's law, they would have treated everybody as brother. Because the same flesh you have is the same flesh I have, the same color. Okay, if you treat somebody of the same color as them, what do you tell the white men in the past that collected some black men and made them slaves? Hearing that, you are not happy. What about you treating your own brother as a slave? Now, I want to say something very, very important. Just as I earlier said, from the Bible, we discover that God made everyone equal. Everyone should be equal. Whether rich, you should relate with the poor. Whether poor, you should relate with the rich. Because slavery is not only Osu and so on, because some rich people make poor people slaves. Just because they are not just as opportune as they are. So in whichever field you have made somebody slave, some managers make their workers slaves. Some presidents make the people that are under them slaves. No, you are not president. You were not born a president. You were there because you were destined to be there. And why God gives some people opportunity to come on top is to treat others because they have been on the bottom before they climb on top. So we should look at others at the bottom also as brethren. Remember that there was a time we were at the bottom. So what I want to advise in this is that, please, it's a demonic conception. We should rule out anything about slavery. Whether Osu, whether Amadi, whether being in an office as a manager, whether being a director, whether being a president, a governor, whatever position you are occupying, don't treat your fellow people as a slave. It is wrong and wickedness in the sight of God. I have earlier told you that a slave is a sinner. Go to the Bible, Romans chapter 6, verse 15 to 18. You will see that God called one person slave a sinner. So any sin you commit, you are a slave to that sin. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pastor.
Thank you.
We've all had it. Nobody was born as an outcast. Let us come together and sort out this issue. Nobody is a slave. What about if you were the person being treated like an outcast? How will you feel? We are all the same in the sight of God. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
We must be in unity to do that.
We are aware in spirit that you never know what happened to you before you were carried away to where you were carried to. But if you come back to the road to your father's house, you will be cleansed.
Nnaji Kolioso. Kolioso means build the house of the seer.
How will you describe this day in your life?
A new birth, a coming home, a resurrection. You know, it's been a long time coming.
Amen.
But we give thanks, brother, to be home. You know, we've been on a sojourn for 400 years. And the Bible says that we would return to our fathers. So now I return to my Father's house. I must keep the light burning in my Father's house. It's good to be home.
Amen.
Good to be home.
Amen. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So can you bear your heart?
I'm just so overwhelmed. Very, very emotional. It's such so special to be able to be here and to partake in this. It's been a long time coming, and want to be able to share this with so many more Africans in the Americas.
Africans, Americans.
Yes.
Your name?
My name is Robin Oshunike.
Robin for Robin Hood.
For Robin Hood, yes. Yes.
I don't know that if I can put it into words. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know that I felt this way before, and I'm not quite sure what to make of it. I wish I could be more articulate, but I just can't right now.
And I want to find my ancestors. I want to go back home to the United States of America, and I want them to see the glow that comes to my body from coming home and being restored, touching my ground, walking on the earth that God made. I'm standing on holy ground, and I know there are angels all around.
A lot of people have been asking why I ventured into writing, a lady for that matter. I started writing after my degree exams when I was given a project topic to write the title, History of Awkunanaw. I went to archives and library to source for material that would help me write on the project, but all my effort fell through. So I went back to Professor Sam, pleading with him to change the topic for me. He asked me why did I want to change the project topic. I told him because I was not born in Nigeria and I did not even know my kinsmen, let alone knowing the history of my people. He told me that it was even the reason why I had to write on the topic. Like a father he has always been, he taught me how to prepare my questionnaires, after which I went to the village to research properly. After writing the project, a friend called me and said, "Yo, since your town does not have a documented history, don't you think you could be the one to do that?" It became a challenge, so I decided to give it a trial. I went back to Professor Sam and told him my plans. He was happy and promised to support me from start to finish, which he did. That was how it all started. So I personally decided to take the challenge to deeply research into the history of the people of Awkunanaw and to present it in a book form for posterity. After the history of Awkunanaw, I had a lot of challenges which made me to go deeply into research, not just Awkunanaw this time, but Awkunanaw. Though there were a lot of challenges on my way, but thank God for giving me the victory. It was difficult for me to gather the historical documents because the history of Awkunanaw has almost eluded the tracking of human memory, and most of the elders have gone senile, so the stories are not always the same. Everybody narrated the story in his own point of view, but all arrived at the same thing, just like the 3 blind men that were asked to touch the elephant and describe how it looks like. They all described it in their own way, but ended up by saying it is a big animal. The problems facing the production of the history of Awkunanaw are enormous, but I just have to pick some vital issues that are relevant and piece them together from oral tradition and some documents. It hinges very much on oral history, which is invariably characterized by uncertainty of dates, origin, and other vital issues. Please, this book does not claim to have included every information worth knowing about Awkunanaw. This is just a stepping stone for more research. With regard to my great humility, I call on you to contribute more constructive ideas to the author for a better edition if need be. 2 things are involved. It is either you criticize and make a constructive contribution, or you criticize and write a better one. I did not start writing because I am intelligent or I know how to write. I took the challenge of writing this book because of the passion and enthusiasm I have about knowing more about my people, and for the outside world to know indeed that Awkunanaw and Ntuegbenese exist. I did not come into this world to watch things happen, but to make things happen and to be a blessing to my generation. Once again, I thank the Almighty God for His courage and for making this book a reality. Secondly, I want to say a very big thank you to my parents, especially my dad, who trained me throughout my years in school. I also want to appreciate my siblings for their encouragement and prayers for me during my research. With a heart full of pleasurable regard, I thank you all for your support and contribution in one way or the other. Your contribution and support to make this project a success is highly appreciated. I want to say a very big thank you to my fans and well-wishers. I also want to say a very big thank you to the traditional rulers of Awkunanaw. In the course of my research, I established a meaningful relationship with the traditional rulers and elders of Awkunanaw. It was an experience I will never forget in a hurry. I also want to say a very big thank you to all the people of Ntuegbenese especially the people of Awkunanaw, for their advice, support, and contributions towards this book. It will not be complete if I fail to appreciate some group of people, but I will start by thanking all the people who contributed in one way or the other in the first edition, like Professor Sam Okwadi for his fatherly advice and encouragement. With a heart full of thanks, I want to say a big thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Murphy. I also want to say thanks to Barrister Owu Nnaji, Honorable Emmanuel Ugu, Honorable Jerry, Honorable Nnemeka Wampo, and all the people of Amodu that contributed in one way or the other. I want to acknowledge some friends like Chibuike Anu, Abuchi, Mike Obasi, Emeka, Chioma, Vivian, Eze, Uche Naru, and many others. I also want to appreciate the people in National Archives for their support and contribution towards this book, especially people like Mr. Obala, the Director of National Archives, and Mr. Valentine Alogwe. I also want to appreciate the amiable support and advice of Mr. Oke Ami, who painstakingly took me to many places in Ntuegbenese and introduced me to a lot of people who were useful to this documentary. May God bless you richly. I want to say a very big thanks to His Royal Highness Barrister Obiora Nnaji for his fatherly advice and contribution towards this documentary. I will not forget to appreciate the proofreaders and people whose advice was useful to me during this documentation, like Chief Justice Etioya, who painstakingly wrote the foreword of this book, and others like Mr. Isaac Ewu, Chief Owele, Dr. Uche Okonkwo, Honorable Oliver Abo, Chief Dr. Uguja, Barrister Osito Owu, Pastor Henry Anibu, Chief Mark Ngene, Honorable Godwin Nnamani, Mr. Collins Okonkwo, Dr. Fred Ujam, and his lovely wife, Christian and Ikechukwu Nwosu. I want to say God bless you all. It will not be complete if I fail to appreciate Honorable Ofochukwu for his financial assistance and his PA, Maxwell Ngene, for his support and contribution. How will I forget to acknowledge His Royal Highness Igwe Dr. Chris Ngene, Okpebe one of Okpebe, for his fatherly love, care and advice to me. Igwe, may God bless you richly. I also want to say a very big thank you to all the people that devoted their time to escort me to people like Mr. Ofobi Klawo, Chief Jonathan Obodi, Chief Elder Ezekiel Nnaji, Mr. Okeani, Mr. Aniego, and also Nnaji. I also want to say thank you to the elders and priests in Ntuegbenese, especially the Chief Priest Joseph Aniego, for his contribution and cooperation. I will not forget to thank all the people in Transport Secretariat, FCDA, Abuja, for their support, especially the Secretary, Engineer Jonathan Ivoke. I will not forget to thank all the people that tried so many ways to frustrate my effort, though they did not succeed. If not for them, the history of this book would have not been complete. They only gingered my swagger. If there is no challenge, there won't be any progress. Lastly, I want to say thank you to Mr. Kassie Mbwanore, Uche Ubani, and Chris for their patience and contribution. Thank you all. God bless you. I love you. Bye.